Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. So we've had a look at what I think is the best super heavy tank in the game. So let's move on and let's have a look at what I think is the best heavy tank. Now, of course, we are going to be doing this for light tanks, tank destroyers, and of course, medium tanks. So heavy tanks, what tank do I think is the best heavy in tier 10? Now, I have to go with the Rhinoceronte. I think this tank is fantastic. Now, if I was to say anything negative about the Rhinoceronte, is probably the legendary camouflage. Now, I think the legendary camouflage is horrible. I don't really like it, but you know, hopefully in the future it will get more legendary camouflages. So the Rhinoceronte, of course, is an auto reloader. It has 2 shells, and honestly, it is just an absolute beast. So this is my equipment that I run, and again, normally it is the same kind of equipment on most tanks. Now, the only thing I'll normally change is maybe the vertical stabilizer and the refined gun, but most tanks nowadays, the refined gun is pretty much better. So but again, it's all subject to opinion, and that's what I believe that you should run. Moving on to provisions. Again, provisions is normally pretty the same, unless there are anything special like tungsten shells or anything like that. Yeah, I mean, sorry, consumables as well. So, you know, unless there is anything like tungsten shells, then of course I do pretty much run the same consumable. So the armor on the turret of this thing is 205mm, so not the best, and the same as the hull as well at 130. So for a heavy tank, the armor is not special really at all. It's okay, but you can't rely on them bounces. The turret's not too bad if you get in certain angles. Your DPM 2592, so again, not the best of DPMs, but it is an auto reloader, so you're not going to have as much DPM. Time between each shell is 3.3 seconds, and your auto reload time for your second shell, so basically the first shell you shoot is 8.33, and then your second shell you shoot is 9.72. And that's what I think why I love this tank so much. So because it is an auto reloader and the reload's not that bad, you can play it however you want. You know, you can just fire one shot if you want, because the reload is not that bad at all. So like 8.33 plus the 3 seconds. I think it is pretty decent. Your penetration is 278 on your AP, 362 on your heat, and 70 on your HE. So again, not too, you know, nothing too special. It's pretty decent, but not too special at all. The average damage is 420 on your AP, 370 on your heat, and 520 on your HE. Your aim time is 3.4. Again, nothing special, and your dispersion is 0.285 with the refined gun. Makes it actually very, very good, or just very good. Not very, very good, but very good. Your gun depression as well is 7 degrees. So again, nothing too fancy, but the stats work, you know, 40 kilometers an hour speed. So on paper, the stats, you know, it doesn't look fantastic. The stats, you don't look at the tank and think, wow, look at this tank. It's kind of average. But honestly, like, it plays a lot better than it says on paper. And honestly, I do think that this tank is currently the best heavy in the game. Well, the best heavy in tier 10. And again, this is just my opinion. You guys sorry, you guys might think completely different. So we're going to get into a game that I had, and again, this game was literally just trying to make some footage. I had a couple of games and I managed to get this pretty decent game. So we are on Castilla, and you know, at the start of this game, I looked at this and think, you know what, I'm going to get annihilated here. Everyone has pretty much gone on the right side. I started going on the left side, so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to take the shortcut. I don't really want to go to the left side being on my own. And of course, I do get ripped apart by almost everything that shoots me. So I've literally lost half of my hit points straight away, which wasn't good. It isn't good at all. But I do manage to get into a decent position where I can get damage, I can see certain tanks, and I can actually try to save my hit points from now on for as much as I can. And I think I'm in a decent position now, because at the end of the day, right now, I'm not sure where everybody is. Like, considering there is a tank destroyer that has gone to the medium route, how many other people have gone to the medium route? So I don't want to expose my tank too much because I don't know where most of the other players are. Now, this Fosh 155, no idea what he's actually doing. I thought maybe he was going to stop, but yeah, he gets shot on the way, which really does help me, because at least I can then clear him with both of my shells. So no idea what he was doing, honestly. And as soon as we get rid of him, I now basically know where most of the other tanks are. So I'm just trying to get on the ridge here, aim my gun. Am I going to wait? I'm trying to wait as much as I can to see if I can reload that second shell. But as soon as I realize, no, he's going to be out of sight before I reload, or before I get that second shell. So I do decide to just shoot my only shell at him. At least I do a bit of damage. The same here. I was going to take the shot. I was going to reload. I thought that's my only opportunity to take the shot. And that is what I always do with auto loaders. Always do it. If you've got the shot, take it, unless it is the shell where it is the reserve shell where you have a massive reload. If it's just a normal auto reloader and you have that shell, I would always recommend to take that shell, to take that shot, because if I did decide to reload both of them times, I wouldn't have had them shots available. So that's actually got me more damage. So that is one thing I would always recommend. Like, just assess the situation. Like here, I do have both shells reloaded, but unfortunately I just can't get that other shot out. But if I'd have only had one shell reloaded there, and again, like, if you know that you're not going to be able to get that second shot off, take it, because you know it will help, because at the end of the day, at least you're doing damage to the enemy team. It's better doing damage than no damage. So that's how I look at it. Yes, you're going to maybe reload for a little bit longer, but you know, at least you are doing damage. So far 3,300 damage, and I'm on 700 hit points at the minute. I know there is a Conway there, and if he's got the bigger gun, he may be able to clear me, or if he can't clear me or kill me, then I will be on a one shot. So I do have both shells reloaded here. The T-22 is trying to back up from the team that is in front of him, not really realizing that I am behind, and I do manage to kill him. So that is now 4,100 damage. And again, I could have just waited a little bit there to see if I could reload, and I probably would have been able to, because he is just sat there. So I would have probably been able to reload both shells. And at the minute, because it's a 4 versus 2, I don't really care about reloading both shells. I just want to get some damage. And as you can see, are we going to be able to get the shot? Yes, we are. No problem. Just one tank left alive, and he is, of course, the Conway. So we're going to rush towards him. He does have a little bit of he's got nearly 900 hit points, but by the time I get there, I would have reloaded both shells anyway. Now, at this point, I'm happy with just one shot. At least I will clear the 5k mark, and let's just try and get the shot, because the FV4005 is on his way. But luckily enough, he doesn't shoot him, allows me to get the second shot. So, you know, a pretty decent game, considering the start of the game I completely messed up. Actually, it worked in our favor, and I end up with 5,700 damage, and I also got 1,955 assistant damage, and of course the mastery badge as well. So that is the Rhinoceronte. Again, there is just one thing really I'm disappointed, and it's not even really about the gameplay or anything like that. It's literally the camouflage. I do wish it had a better legendary camouflage. I do think it needs it. I'm not a lover of the current camouflage that it has got. So let me know your thoughts. What do you think is the best tier 10 heavy tank in World of Tanks Blitz? Let me know in the comments below. But for now, hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm meadsy69, and I will catch you all soon. Bye bye.